Compact bone resides external or more superficial to the bone surface compared to spongy bone, which we find inside. Surrounding an entire bone is the periosteum. Here, the periosteum is a protective layer surrounding the bone, isolating it from its environment, which still happens to be inside of you. The periosteum has two layers: an outer fibrous layer, which is continuous with the tendons connecting muscle to bone and ligaments connecting bone to bone. Underneath, there is a cellular layer. Here we're going to find osteoprogenitor cells, which can differentiate into osteoblasts or bone building cells, helping to repair bone from the outside in while it's simultaneously being repaired from the inside out. Because inside we find an endosteum, an incomplete cellular layer, also home to osteoprogenitor cells, which will differentiate into bone building osteoblasts. This outer periosteum is attached to the outer layers of matrix material of the compact bone via perforating or Sharpie fibers. Out here we find layers of bone matrix material known as circumferential lamellae. Remember, this is only a small wedge of a cross-section of a long bone, and these layers go around the whole circumference of the long bone. These are not osteons, but they do still possess lacunae within which reside osteocytes, maintaining bone integrity. Here we have an osteon. Here's another osteon. Here's one that isn't raised up out of the compact bone. The osteon is the functional unit of compact bone. It is composed of concentric lamellae, or layers of matrix material inside larger layers of matrix material. At the very center of the osteon is the central canal, also known as the haversian canal, where we find blood vessels and nerves that innervate and control really the dynamic processes happening within bone. Because the osteon is round, resembling a tree trunk after that tree has been cut down, round objects don't fit together so very nice and neat. And so these gaps in between the osteons are filled with a third layer of matrix material known as interstitial lamellae. These layers of matrix material are formed from collagen fibers that have been laid down by fibroblasts, and then we've had blocks, crystalline blocks, made of a product known as hydroxyapatite. It is the combination of tricalcium phosphate and calcium hydroxide go on to form hydroxyapatite, and they form the hard, bony matrix material that we attribute to bone. This same material can be broken down by cells known to degrade bone. We call these osteoclasts, releasing those calcium and phosphate salts back into circulation for use elsewhere in the body. Continuing through the compact bone, we find blood vessels of the central canals, also known as haversian canals, connected with each other via other blood vessels running through perforating canals, also known as Volkmann canal. These canals extend all the way from the medullary cavity of the diaphysis all the way out to outside of the body. Here within the medullary cavity, or lining the medullary cavity, we find the trabeculae of spongy bone. There are no osteocytes here because these trabeculae, although still layers of matrix material, do not possess the central or haversian canal required to be classified as an osteon. I feel like that is a rather good explanation of compact bone.